Hi guys, today review on the teardown of this old Soviet aircraft instrument. It is a combination instrument, it seems, with two functions. You have around here a navigational compass with a regular dial you can turn like so. And in the middle it looks like an instrument landing system to target the perfect landing spot on the runway, with two needles that can move and two flags of the same color of the needles. There is one whitish and one orange. This button here turns the crown outside, and here we have two zeroing adjustments for the center needles. There is no backlight on this instrument. Apart from that, you can see there is a spring ring around here, keeping the glass in place. It is pretty rusty. Okay, so what does it look from the top? Like so. As you can see, a pretty big thing. It is 20 centimeters deep. Here you have the model number and serial number, and also what seems to be a nice manufacturer logo. Not a usual one, this one. And the case is in three parts even. There is this front cover, back cover that can be removed separately of the front. And at the back we have this thing with holes. It is some kind of small electronic module, plug-in module, which we will unplug, with what seems to be a vacuum tube inside. So anyway, I will open it because there is a dent in the case and I want to repair this dent. The cable is hardwired to the instrument, with here at the back this cover. In fact, there is a terminal board and it is soldered in place, the wire. And you have two screws with this bakelite cover covering the contacts. So in fact, the back cover of the instrument will come off if I remove this module, these two screws here and these two screws here. So where we will start? We will start with removing this module and having a look inside. So as you can see, we have a few dents in the case, but here they are not too much annoying because you can still remove the back cover. And anyway, this kind of dent is really difficult to correct without proper equipment. So let's remove this. Can I zoom in a little bit? This module. I have two screws to undo. It is the same kind of screws we have on the other stuff I did already make teardowns off, where we have field replaceable plug-in modules as the autopilots. So when I undo this, I can just pull this module, and as you can see, we have model number written, where the connector. This thing has its own serial number and the same manufacturer logo here, quality control stamp. Here is what the female plug looks like. So we will first open this thing. So as you can see, we still have the factory seal. Yes, it was never opened before. So let me grab some tools to do it. What do I need? This and this maybe, because I need to remove the factory seal. Oh, it was pretty easy. In fact, it is a wax seal, and you have just to find the slot of a screw, and then you can poke your screwdriver inside, and it will allow you to remove the screw. This one is a little more tight. So I do not know what we have in this, because I did never open it before. So here we are. We have the two fastener screws that come loose. It is not very handy. We have one small kind of bakelite cover, and yes, pretty simple electronics. So there is a vacuum tube here in this copper clip or brass clip, and just a few other parts, capacitors, resistors on a terminal point-to-point board, and it is all in fat. And here, look at this, we have a spider web. Interesting. So the cover is a little bit dent, so I will repair it. Some work with a hammer and a piece of wood from the inside, I guess. So let's do it. Okay, I believe it is the best I can do. So let's put this back together before I lose parts. I will leave the spider web inside because it is part of the history of the device. Here we are. So this must be some kind of a little amplifier module, which is, you can see, the vacuum tube is probably supposed to edge, and they did include it in a plug-in module for easier matte lamps. It seems there is no adjustment to do on this thing, so it is just a matter of removing two screws since to access the back of the aircraft instrument panel, which may not be easy, because a complete instrument panel is probably very heavy. Okay, now let's undo this front cover on the instrument. No, first the back one, because the front is more delicate. So if I undo these two screws here, we access to the, oh, one was not screwed in, it seems. It looks like the screw is too short. Maybe I did mismatch the screws the last time I opened the instrument. It is totally possible. So I will do this later. Now you can see the terminal point-to-point where the wires from the wire harness are soldered in place. So this is not a quick and easy field repair. And we have two more screws here. Yes, I did mismatch the screw. Probably I was in a hurry. So no, not sure in fact, because this one is very short, so quite weird. Okay, there is this clamp here keeping the wire in place. As you can see, they did attach here a bit of a pin, metal pin, with some string, some cord to prevent it to be pulled. And now I can slide this cover, but I guess, yes, it will probably not be possible to remove it completely from the, yes, no, I cannot do the connector, or maybe, yes, it is possible, but you have really to find the correct angle, and really it is a tight fit. It looks like they make these cutouts here to give this possibility. So this cover is just a aluminum piece. We can see what seems to be 4 welds on the sides. It has some dents, but it will not be easy to repair this. So here is what it looks inside the rear part of the instrument. But I will now immediately remove the front part, so we will have a look at everything in a single time. There is this button I need to unscrew. Easy enough. And just 4 screws on the sides. Countersink screws. So there is one which was previously carrying a factory seal, but it is not here anymore. This one, as you can see, there is this kind of a little cup, giving a possibility for a wax seal. Okay, now I can just slide out this front cover. This is what seems to be die-cast aluminum. Yes, there is all at the bottom. Not sure if you will be able to see it, but here in the corner there is AL2 written. And apart from that, it is all, so pretty heavy piece. And there are brass inserts here for the screw threads. Okay, here is what it looks inside the thing. So on the back we have some electronics, more or less. Here in the middle we have a mystery device which is not possible to access. And here at the front we have mostly the parts for the instrument landing system indicator. So the part for the compass must be buried in here, I guess. Yes, there is the shaft here. As you can see, there must be some kind of servo motor inside this. And there is the shaft here responsible for moving the 2 parts. If I turn this crown, I move something in here, so there is a feedback of a position here. Probably a potentiometer. And here I turn the needle indicator on the front. I'm sure if you will see it, this little one. And it is turning another part here in this. So you must be 2 feedback potentiometers in here. And I did just see we have a motor here, which seems to be actuating the indicator. I see only 1 motor, so probably the crown is not supposed to turn by itself. So what do we have at the back here? Let me zoom a little bit. We have a board with capacitors. We have this very delicate wire harness now. We have this kind of motor. A lot of wires to it, maybe it is some kind of synchro motor. Date code of 1973 on here, and 1974 on this seal capacitor. We have all in the middle, we have these standoffs with what seems to be diodes in metal, black metal body. We have some kind of a toroidal transformer here behind this wire harness, which is attached by a very serious brass screw, quality stamp here. And it is all for the electronics. I can see at the bottom, I'm not sure if you will be able to see them. Look at this here, we have rotary contacts. There are some small needles for rotary contact. So making contact with whatever is in this part. It seems I cannot undo this piece because there is all the gears here in the way. So it should involve removing all the gears. And here also, maybe it is not totally impossible, but anyway there are also the wires in the way, so it will not be, yes, there are wires at each side. So even if I undo this screw here and I manage to get rid of these gears here, there is a lock pin here, so it will not be possible to do with no damage. So I don't know what we have in this, probably two feedback potentiometers. I can see, look at here, we have more rotary contacts down here at the bottom. In the middle here we have more rotary contacts. So maybe we are just transferring signal. And here on the front we have the galvanometer assembly for the front instrument loading indicator. There is one here, other one here. There is another thing here. Oddly enough, it is moving the same needle. Yes, it is just the other side of the galvanometer assembly, in fact. It is a axis with stops, you can see here. So the galvanometer itself is here. You can see wire wound resistors here. We have, what else? This is the zeroing mechanism. When you turn, it will act on this piece here, and it allows to exhaust the zero. And we must have somewhere buried all in the middle here. We have probably, yes, I can barely see them here. We can see them a little bit. Two solenoids for actuating the little flags here in this windows. These openings, two little flags are actuated by some solenoids down here. And in fact it is all for the parts about the construction. You can see it is pretty serious. Here there is very heavy die-cast frame and structural pieces. Here too. But here we have brass standoffs. And we have a backplate with more brass hardware and this sheet of rubber material to make some kind of seal. So it is interesting, quite a well made thing, quite seriously made. It is quite heavy, must be not far from 2 kilos or something like this. Okay, the connector have 19 contacts, but they are not gold plated, they seem to be silver plated, and it is just a regular kind of mill grade Soviet connector with still the lock wire here, but there is no seal on it, no lead seal, just a lock wire. Okay, so I guess it will be all for this thing. So you can see it is pretty nice inside. There is a little bit of mold here over the heat rings and on the wax wire here. Apart from that, it is in decent condition, not in whiskers. And a lot of very nice hardware in this thing. Okay, now I will try to put this back together. Thanks for watching, bye bye.